Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about what qualities you should be looking for in a partner or a mate, you guys, because a lot of people, they're having a hard time and they hit a wall because they're not focused. You guys are not focused, all right? There's a lot of people out there that are not focused in dating, okay? You're talking about your life, and you should be focused in when you meet somebody to really look at this person with a microscope because like I always say, you don't want to waste your time, you guys. Life is short, your time is valuable. And, if you're a serious dater, you don't want to waste your time with the wrong people. So you have to know the right qualities to look for. All right? So let me go through and talk about the mistakes that people make in dating. One of the mistakes that people make in dating is that they look for somebody, number one, they put their importance on, number one, somebody's looks. Then they think, oh, okay, I just got to find somebody with a good personality. They have a good job. If they want to look a little further, they might look to see if they have a good family and all of that. All right. It's not about personality. I can't say this enough, you guys. When you hear people say, oh, you need to look for somebody with a good personality and all of that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have somebody that you could laugh with, have a good time with, maybe somebody that's upbeat, that brings you up and everything like that. But what I am going to talk about now is really the characteristics of somebody that you should be looking for that will make a good partner. Okay. So let's get right to it. All right. When you're out there, you're looking for somebody. One of the things that you have to look at, I always talk about this, and I'm going to beat it into everybody's head 1,001 times. All right. You've got to look at somebody's track record, look at their past relationships. Why did they break up? Because it's going to give you a lot of insight as to, what kind of partners do they pick in the past? Why did it break up? Was it something they did? Was it something the other person did? And remember when I tell you this, they may be telling you something like, oh, she didn't know how to, she was too needy or something like that, or she was a drunk or something, okay? This is their perspective. You're hearing it from that person that you're dating, their perspective. You got to understand something. There's always two sides to a story. So they may not be telling you the whole truth on why they broke up with somebody. Keep that in mind, you guys, all right? The other thing, when we're talking about qualities to look for in somebody, one of the qualities that I think is really important, you guys, is number one, you want somebody who's, that is upbeat. You want somebody who lifts you up. You want somebody who supports you, okay? Now, what does that mean, support? In other words, this person is going to bring you up when you're down. This person is going to, when you're down on yourself and everything, they're not going to criticize you or put you down or anything like that. I mean, some people, if they really, if they're really genuine and everything, they may try to give you advice, not being overly critical. I mean, you could tell the difference between somebody who's trying to support you as opposed to somebody who's maybe a narcissist that's going to rip you up and put you down in some way. But you want somebody that, let's say you have a problem and you need somebody to talk to. This person is able to give you their advice and give you insight, or maybe tell you, maybe you should be doing this way. This is somebody who feels for you. You want somebody who feels for you and is trying to help you. We always talk about somebody who's trying to help you. And, they don't want to see you sad. They don't want to see you upset, because when you're upset, it brings them down. So you want somebody, number one, that is in your corner. All right? That's one quality that you should be looking for. Another quality, which is the basic, you want somebody that could stand on their own 2 feet. What does that mean? That means that you don't have to support them, that they're self-sufficient, and they're bringing to the relationship the same amount or more as what you are bringing, okay? Because we're not going to be mothering anybody or fathering anybody if it's the other way around. You want somebody who, complements the relationship, and the two of you come together as one and build together. If you're dealing with somebody who's not on their feet or has a history of, can't hold a job or something like that, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem. Like I said in one of my other podcasts, sometimes people are going through a rough time, but if the rest of their track record shows that they're a good worker and they're a stable person and they're not lazy and they're not sitting on the couch, sucking a pina colada and watching your TV, okay, you're doing okay. They have to be responsible, all right? So you want somebody who's also responsible. Another quality when you're looking for somebody, you guys, is you want to look at how much time this person gives you. Time on the phone, time being able to see you, whether they're able to have an in-depth conversation with you. Is this person able to have a conversation, or, are their conversations, mean nothing, all right? You get off the phone and you know nothing about them, all right? Those kind of conversations are a waste. You want somebody that you can get in depth with and talk about different things that are going on in your life or going on in their life, and you could really connect mentally, all right? The only thing I'm going to tell you with that is you got to watch out, because there's a lot of people out there that try to fool you in the beginning in doing that. They try to pretend like, ooh, they're so into you. They're asking, about your past relationships, and they're asking about, your family life or your kids and everything. And they don't do it consistently. These are the people that you have to be careful of, that do it in the beginning and fall off. That's why I tell you time and time again, it's an endurance game. What does that mean? That means that this person has to show you interest in talking to you throughout, okay? For at least 3-4 months, they have to show you that consistency of wanting to talk to you, get on the phone with you, and all of that. It's not just the first, second, third night you're talking to them, or even the first or second week, all right? That's what a lot of players do, and that's why a lot of people get fooled, because they say, oh, I don't understand it, like he was always on the phone with me, we got into these in-depth conversations and everything, and then all of a sudden they lose interest. You know why they lost interest? Because it was an act, all right? Because it was an act, or maybe, they had somebody already, and like I said, everybody's nice in the beginning. Everybody puts on the face in the beginning. As time goes by, you guys, the mask falls off and you see the true, authentic self. That is the key. I can't say this enough. That is the key to knowing who the fuck you're dealing with, all right? Because the fake can't keep the mask on. Listen to me when I tell you this. The fake, they can't keep the mask on, or if they're a liar, guess what? Down the road, they're going to say something and you're going to realize, ding, ding, that's not what they told me in the beginning, okay? So take your time when you're out there and you're trying to look for somebody. Take your time. It takes time to get to know somebody, okay? It doesn't happen in the first week, second week, first month, second month, even third month, okay? Believe me when I tell you, all right? There's people that find out new things about their partner years down the line that they didn't know. People that get married that find out things later on about their husband or wife that they never knew. So you want to take time with it when you're trying to look for somebody. Now, another quality that you want to look for somebody is that they are a purpose-oriented type of person. Now, what does that mean? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, money-wise, financial-wise, or something like that. It just means that they have a purpose, that they understand what life is about. They have a certain goal that they're going towards, whatever purpose it could be, whether it's raising their children if they have children, whether it's, getting involved and trying to help other people, whether they have a goal they want to achieve in their life by maybe becoming a homeowner. They have a goal, they have a purpose, all right? And the whole thing that you want to do is you want to see if your purpose aligns with their purpose, okay? You guys got to be looking for the same things. Now, again, here's another caveat, you guys. A lot of people are going to tell you what you want to hear, all right? They're going to say, oh, yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, no, I want to be married with the 2.5 kids and, the big house and the great career and, build a business with you and everything. But again, you have to see their actions. You have to see what is this person doing with their time? Are they working towards that, or are they all talk? All right. And now here's another thing. You want somebody that walks the walk, doesn't just talk the talk. All right. You have to see that whatever's coming out of their mouth aligns with their actions, that they're moving towards a goal, and that goal is able to mesh with your goal, okay? Now, another quality that you want to look for in somebody, all right, is that you guys kind of have similar outlooks on life and everything. Really, you guys, it's about compatibility. Compatibility is key, all right? Everybody talks about communication, and yes, communication is very, very important, but compatibility is what makes a relationship stick, all right? You want somebody that you are compatible with, that maybe the two of you, you like to do the same things. You don't want somebody that they're a partier, you're somebody that stays home, or vice versa. You guys have to, like to do the same things. If they have a hobby, let's say on the weekends, they're always going, antiquing or going to car shows, and you are not into that, you don't like that. Well, guess what? That's what you're going to be around, all right? And you're going to have to deal with that. And especially if you marry that person, they're going to be dragging you to all these shows. So, you got to say to yourself, is this something I could deal with? Is this something I could deal with? Now, another thing that I want to bring up about qualities to look for in somebody, okay? And this is a big one. All right? Is this person able to sacrifice? All right? This is the key to knowing whether you could love somebody. Can that person sacrifice for you? All right? Because you can't love somebody unless you're willing to sacrifice for that person. How much somebody is willing to sacrifice for you will tell you how much that person truly, truly loves you. And this is what happens with a lot of people and why a lot of relationships don't work out, okay? They get involved with somebody, and maybe they get involved with somebody who's a narcissist. Not everybody's a narcissist, but I'm just going to use that for now, all right? A narcissist always wants, most of the time, they want it their way, okay? And they're going to be difficult to deal with. They're unbending. They don't really want to have to sacrifice unless that sacrifice is going to benefit them in some way. Narcissists only do things that are going to benefit them, okay? So for them to just sacrifice for you just because for you, a lot of them won't do that. So you want somebody who knows what it is to sacrifice. You want somebody that, you know what? If you're sick in the middle of the night, this person will go out at 3:00 in the morning and go pick up your medicine at the pharmacy, and they could sacrifice and don't mind being up late to do that for you. And that's a form of how they sacrifice for you, okay? Because anything can happen in life, and you want a partner that, has your back. Does this person have your back? Is this person able to sacrifice? Okay? Very, very important. Now, the next thing that you should look for when we talk about qualities in a partner and whether this person, has potential to be a good partner is, can this person also humble themselves? All right? A lot of people don't talk about this, and it's very, very important. Can that person humble themselves? And what does that mean? That means that, okay, let's say you guys get into a disagreement or something like that, that person is able to humble themselves and take accountability and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was wrong that I said that to you. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, or I should have seen it from your point of view. You want somebody who could see things from your point of view. But here's the thing, you guys, you've got to be the same way. You've got to be able to give that kind of kindness and be humble to somebody else in the same manner. Okay. What you give, you get back. So you want somebody who's able to be humble. You don't want somebody who's arrogant, obnoxious, always blames you. That's what narcissists do all the time. They never take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault. The minute you deal with somebody and you have an argument and you're not at fault and they flip the blame on you and say, that's you. That's you. You did that. That's the reason, that happened, or that's the reason we fight all the time because of you. You are dealing 9 times out of 10 with a narcissist, a narc, okay? So this is why I tell you guys, you got to recognize these different things, all right? When you're out there and you're looking for qualities in a mate, and it's really hard for people, especially the younger people, because they haven't had enough life experience or to deal with a lot of different cats out there. So it's going to be hard for them to recognize this. But that's why I'm here to try to, give you guys a little bit enlightenment as to the important qualities to look for somebody. And the reason that a lot of these qualities are important, you guys, is, it's one thing to live with your partner or to marry somebody. But once you bring children into the world, it's a whole nother ball game. Believe me when I tell you. And things get more complicated. And then when you have outside influences such as family, all right? A lot of people don't talk about family as much as they should, but family has a big influence on a relationship, whether it's their family or your family. Believe me when I tell you, okay? Family can make or break a relationship. So when you're looking for qualities in somebody, you better take a good look at that family, especially if you're looking for a serious relationship. Because if you got to deal with these people, for holidays, birthday parties, or whatever comes down the road, you want to make sure that, it's a happy situation. You're not dealing with miserable people or jealous people or, people that have an influence on your partner and your partner's gullible and listens to them or is influenced by them, okay? And that brings me to my next point. You want somebody who is a grown man, dun 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 dun, or a grown woman. That means that they can think for themselves. That means that they're not influenced by their friends and family. That means that this person respects you and that when anybody in their family or their friends have something to say, they know how to check them. Okay? Why? Because they love you and you are their priority. You are number one. The two of you are coming together in a relationship and becoming one unit. And that unit takes priority over everything, okay? Except, children too, all right? Are always on top. But that's another thing that I want you guys to look for. So when you're out there, you're meeting people, you want to ask questions about their family, get a little insight. Are they close to their family? Are they dependent on their family? Do they have to go running to their family every time they have a problem? Things like this are going to tell you, am I going to have to deal with this? You also want to check out their financial situation. Do they have to keep running to somebody for financial help, or can they stand on their own 2 feet? Or are they one of these people that are looking to mooch off you and ask you for something? Anybody comes to you and asks you for anything with money and you're not married to them, tell them, take a walk, all right? I'm not, the Bank of New York over here, all right? In a roundabout way. I mean, you say it in a nice way. Just say, listen, I don't do that. You and I, we're just dating unless I'm married to somebody. I don't mix money. I don't lend money. That's how you protect yourself from people that are maybe trying to use you or scam you. Okay. So never, ever play around when it comes to money, all right? Because there's a lot of people that will play upon your emotions to try to get money out of you. And the way they do it, you guys, is they don't do it in the beginning. They wait. And what they try to do is they try to build up that trust, all right? Be careful of these people that try to get you to trust them right away. And this is what a lot of manipulators do. They try to earn your trust right away. So when somebody's trying to do that, they're trying to gain your trust right away. You better say in your brain, ding, ding, ding. Why are they so worried about me trying to trust them? What's up with that? Why are they trying to earn my trust so quickly? If they're trying to earn your trust so quickly, is there some other motive there? Okay. Why are they trying to get me to drop my guard? Are they looking for something financial from me down the road? Are they looking for sex from me down the road? Okay. This is why I say it's an endurance game. So you've got to take your time, watch these cats out there and see how they operate. Who do they put themselves around? Take a good look at their friends, all right? Now, a lot of people say, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you what they are. That's true in a lot of cases, but not always 100%, you guys, all right? Somebody could have a friend that's a big-time player, a big-time cheater, and they may not be a cheater. But it gives you insight into the person. Where do they hang out? Where do they like to go? Is this something that you like? Is this something that you could deal with? All right. So you got to keep that in mind when we're talking about, qualities to look for in somebody. Now, the other thing that I think really is important, all right, is for me, and like when it came to me and my was spirituality. All right. I needed to be with somebody who got it. All right, who understood what spirituality is all about, all right? So if you're that type of person, you want somebody who's also spiritually woke as well and understands what it is. Again, I'm going to give you guys another caveat. Watch out for these people that say they're like that. That's why I tell you, watch out when you go to religious institutions such as a church or a synagogue or a mosque or anything like that, because you have a lot of predators in these places that prey upon people and try to pretend that they are religious and everything like that. And they're really not there for the reason. They could be there kind of, stalking out, people that, are vulnerable. They feel like maybe these people are vulnerable, so they try to portray that image that they're, the spiritual person. And by doing that, you put your guard down and you think, oh, I got a real one. Oh, my goodness. I have a man of God, right? I have a man of God. I met him in church and everything like that. Be careful, because you have a lot of slicksters out there that just because they're there in church doesn't necessarily mean that they're with you for you. They could be with you, they could be a player, all right? You got players that go to church too, or go wherever, okay? So, you will know. And like I said, the way you're going to know is in time, by talking to this person and seeing how much time this person gives to you. And are they consistent with it? Are they consistent in seeing you on a regular basis? Are they consistent? Like if you're progressing, they're progressing, okay? This is the thing, the qualities that we're looking for. Is this person progressing with you? Okay? They're calling you regularly. They're seeing you regularly. After a certain amount of time, after, you've gone out maybe 3 months or even sooner, they should be talking exclusivity with you, all right? Because, these people, they know right away, all right? I told you guys this before. They know right away if they want you or not. And if they're on the fence, then they either are not looking for something serious, they may have somebody on the side, could be a situation, or they're just not all into you, which is fine. Because you know what? You value yourself. You value yourself. So you don't give a fuck whether they're into you or not, because you know what? If they're not, somebody else will be, because you have that self-worth that, you know what? you will find somebody, and you will, you guys. If you're persistent and you're putting out your best foot forward, everybody eventually will find somebody. Believe me when I tell you, if I could do it, anybody could do it, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is this. Don't sweat whether somebody's, all into you or not. I know you may meet people and, he's so cute or she's so hot or whatever, okay? But you know what? What good is it if they're not showing you what they should be showing you? What good is it if you got to worry where they are on a Saturday night? They're no good, all right? They're no good, and they're going to put a pit in your stomach because you're going to be sitting there thinking about them, all right, when they're not thinking about you, all right? So, we're not playing no games here, all right? Your time is valuable, and you're going to give your time to the people that deserve it. These are the people that give you their time and make the effort. And a lot of people out there say to me, well, they're all the same, okay? These guys, they just want to play games. They don't want anything serious. And, the guys, now I'm hearing from the guys the same thing. The women are out there playing games. The women are also doing this. They're dating 4 or 5 guys and everything like that. That may be, all right? That may be. I'm not saying there's not a lot of that going around, but there are some real ones out there. There are. You got to just weed through, you guys, okay? And you got to put yourselves in the right places around the right people, all right? You meet on a dating app, it's like, you're throwing, a dart down the street and hoping you hit it, okay? So that's why I'm telling you, try to meet people other ways. I've done podcasts on this. I talked about it, interest groups, even other, forms of social media is better than a dating app, which is, like a shark den, because most of the people on there are not there for serious relationships. I mean, you have a few. I'm not going to say there's nobody that is, all right? But it's all game, you guys, and the people that know the game know it, all right? I've talked about this too 1,000 times. So, you got to get involved. You got to put yourself out there, but you put yourself out there for you, to keep yourself involved and keep yourself busy. And then you see what comes along the way, because when you're not looking, something or somebody is going to pop up. Believe me when I tell you, your focus should not be on, I got to meet somebody. I got to meet somebody. Where are all the good men? Where are all the good women? No, your focus is on you. When you're focused on, your purpose, what is your purpose? Your purpose is whatever it could be in this world, all right? What you want to accomplish in this world. Focus on your purpose, you guys. Live your life. Be involved in these different kinds of groups or any way you can network, and the rest will come together. Believe me when I tell you. I mean, I know so many people that this has happened to, that have, joined something and then they end up meeting somebody there, or, they met through friends or whatever. You will see, eventually you're going to hit it. But the point is, when we talk about qualities, one of the most important thing, you guys, is not so much personality. I mean, looks is a given. And when we talk about looks, you got to be realistic about it, okay? If you feel that looks-wise you're a 7, 8 on the scale, then, find somebody that is a 7, 8 or, is on your scale, all right? That you guys fit together and everything like that, and there's no insecurities or anything like that. Because a lot of times people that are, let's say, a 6 on the scale, they go for a 10 because they're all concerned about looks, and that 10 that you're looking for is not looking for you unless maybe you have something else to offer them, which could be money or to make you a side chick, all right? So, be realistic. Find somebody that is attractive to you, but also has those other qualities. And what are those other qualities? The other qualities are good character. Ding, ding, ding. All right. I'm talking about good character, not personality. Character, you guys, character. Does this person have good character? Do they follow through when they say they're going to do it? Are they not giving you excuses? And when they make plans, they follow through. They call you after the date and they're ready to make plans for the next date. They don't play games. They're a straight shooter. They're a serious-minded person out there, okay? Those are your targets, all right? That's your serious dater. The serious dater is somebody who's not playing games, that knows what they want, but you also have to be aware of your own actions, your own behavior, and your vibe that you're giving off. You don't want to give off any kind of game vibe to that person, because when you're dealing with the serious dater and you give off any kind of inclination that you're playing games with them, that person is going to cut you loose, all right? So don't do that. Don't do that. If somebody's showing you they're doing the right things, they're making the effort, you also have to come up to the plate and give the same back to them, all right? If you're dealing in a situation where that you're giving, you're being reliable and you're making the effort and that person isn't, then you step back. It's very simple, you guys, all right? You show people the same amount of energy that they show you. Period, dot, end of story, all right? So the qualities that you want, basically, you guys, is just you want a good person. You want a nice person. You want somebody that's easy to deal with. Oh my God. Ask all the married people out there. They will tell you, okay? I mean, if I had to ask my married friends, okay, what's the important thing? They would say somebody that's easy to deal with, all right? You don't want somebody that's a nitpicker or picks on every little thing, okay? Also, when we talk about qualities to look for, I'm going to bring this one up, and a lot of people don't think about it, but it's important, all right? You've got to ask yourself, is this person a clean fanatic and I'm not a clean fanatic, or vice versa? I'm the clean fanatic and they're very messy. Something like that, you guys, could be a big irritation in a relationship, especially if you get to the point where you're living with that person, you get married to that person. You could be fighting over dishes in the sink, helping out around the house. Little things like that is like the spark to a major fight, all right? So you want to make sure that, you guys can work together and you both can compromise. Can this person compromise? Is this person easy to deal with? All right. Now, the last point when we're talking about qualities, when you're looking for qualities in somebody, is you want to know how this person fights. All right. This is something nobody ever told me before I got married. Okay. When I was married, nobody ever told me this, but this is one of the most important things is you want to know how this person fights. Okay? And what do I mean by fights? I'm not talking about physical fights, all right? First of all, if somebody puts their hands on you, automatically you got to leave the relationship, okay? The relationship is toxic and you need to leave, okay? Because that's the start of something that could spiral into something very bad, okay? If you're in a situation like that, you need to call the domestic abuse hotline and get yourself some help, and you need to get out of a situation like that, okay? But when I'm talking about fighting or conflict in a relationship, when you're dating somebody, one of the most important things you want to know is, listen, every relationship, you're going to have a disagreement. Nobody has a perfect relationship out there. And anybody that tells you they have a perfect relationship is flat out lying, all right, or putting on some kind of facade. Because eventually every relationship, you're going to have a disagreement. But you have to look at your partner and figure out, well, how does this person fight? All right. Is this person somebody that yells and screams or is able to communicate other ways and can have a conversation and we can go back and forth and communicate that way? Or is this somebody that gives me the silent routine? All right. Oh, please. I knew plenty of people like that, especially in marriages. All right. Like I used to talk to other mothers and stuff and they'd be like, oh, my husband's not talking to me for 3 days or 4 days or whatever. Okay. Some people, this is how they fight. They give you the silent routine. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to break you down. All right. Don't fall for that if you're in a situation like that. Because if you do, they're going to keep doing it. All right. Other people, what they do, you don't want to deal with a gaslighter. You don't want to deal with somebody who stonewalls you, that every time you have an argument or something, they walk out on you. They just take off on you. All right. You got to be careful of people like that too, because a lot of times people that do that, a lot of cheaters do that, you guys. Like if they have an argument with you or something like that, what they'll do, this is what a lot of cheaters do, okay? They'll have a fight with you, all right? And then you're fighting with them or whatever, and then they'll like stonewall and they'll just walk out in the middle so they can go meet their partner somewhere, okay? So if you're dealing with somebody and they're fighting with you over nothing, and you're like, what? I don't know, they just started a fight with me and everything, and I didn't even do anything wrong, okay? And they just took off and they left for the night, all right? Make sure that they don't have somebody, okay? I'm not saying that everybody that does that does have somebody, but just be careful, because this is what a lot of cheaters do, okay? That's one of their tactics, is to start a fight. So I'm making you guys aware of that if you're in that kind of situation. But that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about looking for qualities for a partner and what to look for. So basically, you guys, find somebody that you're attracted to. They don't got to be the best person in the room. They just have to be attractive. And find somebody that treats you well, okay? How they treat you is very important. And whether you're compatible, whether you can get along with their family, and you see that there's a future, you want to make sure, if you're looking for something long-term, that you look into all these things, because this is why a lot of relationships don't work out today, because people didn't look into these things, and then later on they find they can't get along. So this is why in the beginning it's important, and you don't get serious with somebody if you're not compatible with them. All right? I can't say that enough. Make sure that you're compatible with them. So that's what this podcast was about. I hope this helps you guys. Make sure you find somebody with that good character. I hope that helps you. If it did, please hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. And, like I said, the last point I wanted to also make, I forgot to bring it up, is that they have morals and values. Because if somebody doesn't have morals and values, guess what? They're not going to value you. All right? All right. They're not going to value you. So you want somebody who's got morals and values. All right? And you'll know that in time. All right? Have a great night, you guys. Hi, you guys. I just want to make you aware that the Game Exposed podcast now has their merchandise available. You can check out the link in the podcast description. There's hoodies, there's sweatpants, there's t-shirts, there's cool hats. So go check it out. Link is in the podcast description. And follow Yaz on Instagram at dating_advice_Yaz. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description.